Wow, we finally had some great excitement this weekend. Hey everyone, this is Mitch with DuckTalks, and we're here, we're present, we're ready to talk about some Ducktales. This is the week of Wednesday, February the 21st, and this is episode 13 of DuckTalks. Wait a minute, should we do that? Should we have an episode 13?
I don't know if you...
What's wrong with 13?
Yeah, why are you stopping the show? That was great.
Isn't there something like superstitious about 13? I'm not stopping the show. We're going with this.
Well, it's not like
Friday
an elevator.
The 13th, but I mean, unless you're in like Camp Crystal Lake, I think we're clear.
Okay.
And you're not like going up an elevator and have to skip a floor. It doesn't matter if you're...
Well, don't they do that in buildings? They skip the 13th floor?
I think it's a rumor.
So
some I didn't think they do, but I think this show you're okay.
So we shouldn't like skip to 14?
No, we're good.
Okay.
Because then you can have people asking where the 13th episode is, and that's just going to cause chaos.
Be like, that's the real mystery. Where is the 13th episode?
Right?
Yeah.
Might solve a mystery in this episode.
Rewrite some history. Oh, you missed it, Pirate.
I was shaking my head with a face palm. We're good.
Well, as I said, my name's Mitch, and joining me once again is Pirate.
Ahoy there. Thanks for listening to another 13th episode of DuckTalks.
Are you saying there's more than one 13th episode of DuckTalks?
No, I think we went over that already. This is the 13th episode.
This one. All right, this week.
This one right here.
Okay, we're going to do this then. And we decided that the 13th episode of Duck Talks was way too epic for it just to be the two of us, so we invited Josh.
Hey guys, I'm back again.
And we promise it's not going to be another hour-long episode.
Oh, well, we hope. I'm crossing my fingers.
Well, the last time you were on, we did not go an hour. I'm pretty sure we were under that hour mark.
Absolutely. It was like 59 minutes and 38 seconds or something like that.
It was close. I had to edit a few seconds here or there just to get it.
I was thinking, okay, I've been on, this is going to be my third episode now, so I'm like, every so many episodes, I'm going to make an appearance. Is that how it's going to work?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah, so we're... Oh, not yes, so? Man, I'm going to do everything wrong tonight.
It might be an hour episode.
It's going to be 3 hours of editing for me. We're glad you're here listening to Duck Talks. And just want to tell you a little bit about the show just in case you're new. And if you're not new, just a reminder. As the name implies, we talk about ducks, but we're not talking about like hunting ducks or anything like that. We're talking about cartoons because, we're like 30-year-old men who like to talk about cartoons. It's not weird. I keep telling my wife it's not weird. My kids think it's cool. But yeah, we were excited about the Disney XD reboot of DuckTales, so we just had all these great conversations, and we figured there were some other duck nuts out there who'd like to hear them, and that's why we're here. And there must be a few of you because people keep downloading this show, and we keep talking. I
promise it's not me.
How many accounts do you have? So yeah, we're here talking about DuckTales, even though the show's been on hiatus since December. But we keep finding things to talk about. We keep having a good time.
Sorry, I'm still laughing at you said duck. You said duck nuts.
It was intentional.
Okay, I'm back.
I decided
Sorry,
not to,
I'm immature.
No filter.
Yeah, let's talk some DuckTales.
Yeah, so we had some excitement this weekend. You guys were following along as well, right?
Yeah, Toy Fair is a great week. It kind of it tells you how much money you're really going to spend throughout the year on things that I buy I'm just going to lay it out there right now. I buy a lot of toys, not just for my kids, but for myself. It's kind of this thing when you grew up and you had money to spend on toys, you just want to spend it all now that you have that money. But I love Toy Fair. I love the announcements. See what's coming out, all the Christmas gifts I need to buy so I can plan ahead. And Funko does a lot of announcements, and I was so everyone I was waiting for the Rescue Rangers Tailspin announcements or any Disney Afternoon ones, and we didn't get anything really new that we wanted, but we lucked out because that's less money we have to spend.
Yeah, we get a little bit of a break.
Yeah, I mean this is not all the releases for the year. This is probably like the first half of the year, but we're pretty set where we're not going to go broke this first half of the year, at least in the Funko space. But there are some good announcements, and I'm gonna let you take away with that news. You can talk about that part.
Yeah, we are going to talk about that tonight. It was great. I enjoyed it this weekend. I had a lot of work that I should have been working on, and I kept getting sucked into looking up this information because there were some DuckTales announcements. Not really announcements, I don't guess. There were some DuckTales leaks that weren't supposed to happen, and we got in on that and had a good time. But before we talk about that, we've got one other item in the news because I figure the toys will take up actually probably all of this episode. But so let's talk about some Duck news. Going on the week of is this a weekend? February the 24th? Is that coming up this weekend?
February 24th will be a Saturday.
Saturday, okay. So February 24th in California, there is the art tribute to Disney television and animation going on from the 24th of February to March the 11th. So many times I can say, Pirate, you've got more information on this, right?
Yeah, Gallery Nucleus is a popular gallery in California, and they put on these events, these themed events. A lot of them have been, to my recognition, of this Disney themes. I remember, I think last year, the year before, they had a really great Gravity Falls event where all these artists just nailed Gravity Falls with all of this wonderful artwork. And it was a big treat to see what everybody was coming up with to tribute for that show. Well, this one is about Disney television animation. There's a lot of Disney afternoon theming in there. It ranges anywhere from the Disney afternoon shows, the classic ones, to DuckTales 2017. There, Gravity Falls as well, Lilo and Stitch the series, Recess, Tangled the series, Timon and Pumbaa, Tron Uprising, Big Hero 6, Star vs. the Forces of Evil, and all those great shows that are on the Disney network of television animation. So it's going to be a really big show, and there's a lot of pieces that artists have posted sneak previews to online. And even Gallery Nucleus has retweeted a bunch of stuff. And everything I've seen, it just makes me salivate from the mouth because I want it all. It'd be great to have a book with all this great artwork in it. But sometimes they have, they obviously sell the originals, but they sometimes sell prints in the store and online of anything that doesn't sell out in the store. So if you can make it to this event... Which, what part of California is it, Josh?
Oh, you know what? I was just looking that up. It's at Alhambra. So it's a different word than I thought it was exactly. Looking it up right now. It's closer to L.A. area. Try to pull it up. Yeah, it's pretty close to L.A. area. Probably south of Pasadena, north of Monterey Park. It's in that area.
Okay, well, yeah, it's free admission to go to it and to check out all this art. So hopefully people can make it out there to make it to buy some of this great stuff. I know the thing I have my eye on is there's a new Tom Whalen, which is a great artist who comes out with a lot of great Disney art prints and posters. So I'm hoping to get the DuckTales one that he produces. But our friend James Silvani is going to be there. He has 3 pieces: a Ducktales, a Gravity Falls, and a Darkwing Duck. Through the years, awesome print. So
I haven't seen that one.
Yeah, he hasn't. I mean, I could just tell that from the preview image that he posted. But yeah, definitely, there's some great stuff. And I know the Oh My Disney Twitter account this week is going to be posting a lot of previews of some of the artwork that is going to be at that show. So
is he going to be there?
Check out.
Is he going to be there all day then on the 24th? Sorry to cut you off.
The artists?
Yeah.
Yeah, the first day of the show, they're definitely going to all be there.
Okay. I was looking at the dates, and it's actually going to be going on for a while. It's going to be going from February 24th to March 11th. So if you can't make it this weekend, then you definitely can check it out.
Absolutely. My birthday is March 12th. So if you want to send something, Tom Whalen art is going to be awesome, and any of the James Silvanis. Just saying.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to talk my wife into making a road trip this weekend. Next weekend, we'll see if she's up for it or not.
All right, sounds good. I'll send her some tweets.
Yeah.
All right.
We might get some reporting from the show.
Right.
Yeah, that I'm not familiar with his work, but Pirate's been telling me about Tom Whalen and the piece that. Who is it? Cyclops Print Works has been sharing. Looks really cool. Like, that's something I would love to have.
Yeah, it's seriously pop culture, museum quality artwork, and looks great framed. So we'll see what the DuckTales piece. I would love to own a Darkwing Duck piece that he would do as well, but I think for this show it's just DuckTales for him.
Yeah, and I know Silvani's Gravity Falls piece was shared on Twitter from someone involved with the show. I don't know if it was Gallery Nucleus or who, but it's really cool.
And what I know you guys shared or the tweet regarding this, but the Twitter account was Cyclops Printworks. Is that where you can buy some of the prints that are going to be there?
I think Cyclops actually prints the images.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they've been sharing things all week. They've been sharing images all week, including a set of 5 prints for Disney Afternoon. They're called handbills. So looks like these are things they're going to I'm calling them things again. They're images they're going to hand out.
Yeah, I've seen at some of the at one of the D23s I went to that I saw Cyclops there. They were handing out images as well. So it seems like that is something that Cyclops. They're little square images that are really high quality prints. So there was a really cool. I think my favorite from those. They had a great Rescue Rangers and the Tailspin one.
Yeah, I'm looking at those right now. They also did a Baymax, Timon and Pumbaa, and Recess. I didn't watch Recess, so I don't know who the kid is with the backwards red hat.
I'm kind of surprised that Big Hero 6 is a part of those streaks. I mean, it is obviously a Disney animated television show, but that's like a current one, while all the other ones have been in the past. So it's kind of a strange choice for that.
Well, for the handbill, they also have so Tangle the series is a part of this show as well. So it's a wide variety of, and I think Big Hero 6 once they only really had that 1 or 2 part premiere episode, but I think that's going to take off. And I know we saw previews of some of the toys that are going to be coming out for Big Hero 6, so I'm sure that is going to be a big series soon.
Yeah, that show premiered with the movie, but I don't think the episodes have started airing yet. But they do have plans for it because, like you said, we've seen the toys. It's nice to see the artwork, man. It looks really good.
Well, they kind of did the same thing that DuckTales did, where they did a movie, not movie, I guess it's like a 2-episode premiere, and then they just took a bigger hiatus between the premiere than DuckTales did. starting when they did their episodes.
It's all related. These hiatuses are all related.
Yeah, and I wonder if DuckTales didn't start a little earlier since they were maybe a little ahead. Maybe it wasn't supposed to start as soon. I don't remember when we got the official announcement of the movie or the 2 episodes put together, but seems like maybe we got that a little early, and that's led into some of the hiatus. But like you said, Big Hero 6 has had a huge break. It's never really officially started, I don't think.
They premiered their, I guess, 2-episode first episode or movie, whatever it's called. I think it was around Thanksgiving time. Yeah. And then they still haven't had anything yet.
Big Hero 6, the movie, was on Disney XD this evening. So that sounds like a lot of fun. If you're in California and you're in the area, something to look up, check it out, and have a good time. Send us some pictures. Let us see some of this artwork, and let us know, if you had a good time.
I mean, that should be good tomorrow if they're going to be posting all these images. So they'll give us some more stuff to post on the Twitter account.
And who are we following? We're following...
Gallery Nucleus.
That's it.
And then Cyclops, Prince, and then Oh My Disney would be the 3 to follow for this event.
Oh My Disney.
Oh My Disney is going to be... I feel like that's like the new official Disney website that they're trying to push.
Yeah.
There's a big scene in the new Wreck-It Ralph movie that comes out in November that focuses around Oh My Disney. So
yeah,
start getting used to hearing that phrase.
They do a lot of nice short online videos.
Yeah, I think they're the ones that did the live action DuckTales and live action Chip and Dale, where they have like real chipmunks or real ducks and doing the intro.
I don't think I saw the Chip and Dale one.
Oh, it's pretty funny. I'll send you a link.
Yeah, we'll share that too. The duck one is great. Kids love that. They were familiar with the show because the new show hadn't come out yet, and so we were still watching the old episodes. They really enjoyed that. Moving on. Like we said at the beginning of the show, the New York Toy Fair was this past weekend. And man, there was a surprise. I don't know that I was expecting any DuckTales news during this. We were following the Funko information, thinking we might get some other Disney afternoon properties, but they've almost exhausted DuckTales other than going into villains, and I was not expecting that yet. Were you all expecting the DuckTales villains yet? Some Beagle Boys.
Form, they could also done like Mrs. Beakley or
Glomgold,
Duckworth or Glomgold or any of those.
Duckworth doesn't exist anymore.
Well,
but this is all the classic.
Classic, he did.
Well,
or they could have done Fenton or Bubba. He's a popular guy. So I don't know. I guess I was expecting a second wave of Darkwing Duck, or, like I said, Rescue Rangers, or the rumored Gargoyle series. But as a whole, we don't know anything about what's coming out late summer, fall, or winter. So there could definitely be some more out there coming.
Yeah. Well, last time I don't think any DuckTales was actually announced at the Toy Fair last year, was it?
No, last year I think we pretty much heard about the Darkwing Duck series at Toy Fair.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
there was some Disney afternoon.
And we didn't hear about the mystery minis until
late
San Diego Comic-Con, which was in July. So yeah, that could be anything. And like the Disney afternoon action figures that we're going to be talking about later also wasn't announced till I think September-ish.
Okay.
We didn't have much of a wait on any of those, did we?
No.
Well, this weekend we got news. Let's see. I'm trying to remember how it all fell out. I was just working on a project for school and picked up my phone, decided to take a look around Twitter, and I searched for DuckTales, and I was surprised to see a blurry image of someone who spitefully took a picture. But you couldn't make out what anything was, other than, well, I'm going to take that back. I could make out what a few things were, but it was not a good enough picture to confirm, and the individual didn't describe anything they were seeing. But it wasn't long after that we started getting some reports on social media of a company called Fat Mojo. That's P-H-A-T Mojo, M-O-J-O. They were set up at New York Toy Fair, but they were in an area, they had some other properties that they have merchandise for, but where they were set up, it was camera free. You couldn't take any pictures. So none of the products that were there were photographed by anybody that could get a clear picture. But we did get the descriptions, and so we went to their website, and sure enough, on their website, they had a news report that they had the license for DuckTales 2017, that they would be putting out a number of items. And from what we've seen, looks like they'll be putting out, is it plushes? I grew up calling them stuffed animals. Are they called plushes?
Plush, yeah.
Plush?
Yeah.
All right, so there's plush or plushes. That's going to be our plural.
You know what? I think it's like reindeer. I think plush is the plural of plush.
Oh, okay. So
Look over there. There's some plush.
There's some plush?
You don't say plushes.
This place is plush?
No. Well, audience out there, let us know if it's plushes or plush.
Or pleash?
No.
Please.
But we've had some conflicting reports on this. I'm pretty confident there's a Scrooge plush, but I've also seen reports, and I can't confirm any of this, but there's reports that there are other characters that were there in plush form. There was also figures, and not only could you see the figures, but the company Fat Mojo put out in their press release. They had images of some figures. You guys saw these, right?
Yes.
So you're talking about the ones where it only showed a few of the characters, right?
Yeah, the figure. Yeah. I guess we could call these figurines, right? They don't look like they're posable. It had Scrooge, Huey, Dewey, and Louie and Webby.
Yeah, This looks like it could be a maybe a 5-pack of PVC like rubber figures.
And the poses are familiar. Like Dewey, that's the pose they put on his shirt at the Disney store. And I've seen it on a few other advertisements. So these are poses we've seen with the characters. They look good. I like them.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to get those.
Yeah. And they also, someone pointed this out, they look a lot like the stop motion animation figures.
Yeah, I can see that.
Now, these figures appear from reports. Now, this is all from reports because that's all we got. It appears there's also going to be, and actually this part was confirmed with Fat Mojo. Just love saying that name, from Fat Mojo.
PH.
Right, PH. That there will be play sets that will include the Money Bin and the Sun Chaser. Now, the Sun Chaser is Launchpad's. Well, actually, I guess it's Scrooge McDuck's plane that Launchpad flies. And I'm guessing that's going to go with these figurines that we've seen. But who knows?
It says a play sets, but then it goes on and says vehicle kits and more.
Right.
So what do you think that the airplane would be maybe something separate than the actual play sets?
Could be.
Well, I don't know. The definition of play sets it varies, but a play set could be like the Money Bin. It opens up and there's different scenes or things you can do in there. Or it could be that the plane maybe opens up, the Sun Chaser opens up and you can play set inside of it. So who knows?
Or it's got a crash feature where it falls apart like the old crash dummies and you put it back together.
There you go.
I would think that would be awesome.
That would be awesome. Take my money. But these look really good, and there's been some, from people who are there's been some reports that the reason why they were not allowed to do photography, take any pictures, because that's what photography means, so I'm just going to explain that for you. The reason why that wasn't allowed was because a lot of what they had to show might have been prototypes. Is that normal? I've never been to a toy fair. Aren't most of the exhibits prototypes?
Most of, I think, what we've seen were prototypes from the, like, even Funko had prototypes at their booths as well. So,
well, this looks very cool. I'm excited about it, and just, was excited just to hear. We knew there was stuff coming, right? We were waiting on duck merch for a while.
Yeah, this is the stuff we thought they would launch with, so it's good to see that's coming. There'll be things for to purchase for the kids, and let's face it, ourselves, for Christmas, and it's exciting.
And these are going to be released. The thing says Target this summer. I wonder if you think it's going to be a Target exclusive.
Yes, that has also been thrown around on a number of places that at their booth they were telling people that these were exclusive to Target, what they were showing at the show. But also Frank has been on social media talking about this. He came out on Saturday saying that looks like a small part. I'm not going to read his tweet. Some of the secret's out. There's DuckTales toys coming out, and there's so much more to come. So sounds like this is just the beginning of the merchandise that we're going to start to see rolling in and absorbing all that Funko money you thought you were going to saving, Pirate.
Yeah, I mean, the Disney Store will have their share. I'm sure there'll be a section of the Toys R Us that has DuckTales. So as they get off the hiatus and they start making these episodes, the more releases, they'll be more popular with these toys. So I'm guessing summer is a great time to have the release for these.
Yeah, and looking at Fat Mojo's PH website, they've actually got a lot of licenses. I was surprised. They've done some Star Wars and Marvel and a few other Disney properties. They've already been producing things. They've made plush of various characters and vinyl figures, keychains, or I don't guess they're keychains, the little backpack hangers. My kids love those. But they've got a number of stuff that's already out there that they've put out. But talking about Frank's tweet, he says there's so much more that's going to be revealed, so much more coming up, and I'm thinking, we grew up in the 80s and 90s, early 2000s. I'm not sure how old Josh is.
I'm the young one.
I'm pretty sure. But we all know that companies make cartoons to sell toys. It's an artistic expression. There's good cartoons that were created to sell toys. It's not a bad thing. So I'm wondering if the hiatus doesn't have a little bit to do with these toys coming out in summer. It's going to be, looking at the calendar, it looks like we're going to go through March without a new episode. I'm hoping they surprise us.
I mean, it makes sense. I mean, there's so much. When I think about my summers, especially lately, there's not much going on with television-wise. So it'd be great to have something worthy of watching on TV during the summer.
So you guys got anything else about this news? I know we're all excited.
No, the only thing I would say about it is don't worry. DuckTalks will be previewing and talking about this stuff as it's released. So definitely follow us so that you can not miss out on any of it.
Hey, we've had every book on release. Of course we're going to get the toys.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
I was telling someone, I was talking with someone online about how they could watch DuckTales this week, and I started telling them all their options, and they said, "Well, how did you buy it?" And I was like, kind of a weird case because I've got all of the options." Like I bought the DVD, I have it on iTunes, and then I got it on Amazon for my kids.
Yeah, the premiere episode's still on YouTube for free.
Yeah. Plenty of ways to watch this show. No excuse. Just check it out. Enjoy it. Then give them all your money. So that's going to do it for Duck Merch this week. And, we're going to stay on top of that. Follow our social media account. You can find us on Twitter at DuckTalks. And, we'll either post something there, or a lot of times if we get enough information, we'll go ahead and post a blog over at DuckTalks.com. So you can check out those two places. Really, if you follow us on Twitter, you're going to see when we post on Duck Talks. So you'll get both. But I imagine we're going to get a lot of news coming up in the next few weeks, which is really exciting for a podcast about a show that's been on a very long break. So we're looking forward to that. But we do have some toys that we can go ahead and talk about now. If you've been following this show, you know that we have spent quite a bit of time talking about Funko. We've also done it with this episode, but talking about the Funko Pops, and we've had the 3D keychains, mystery minis, and we also had action figures. And we were all pretty excited about that. And hit my mic as I was reaching for my Darkwing Duck here. But yeah, we're all pretty excited about these figures. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, Pirate and Josh, you both have the full set, right?
Yeah.
Well, yes, I do.
Mine's more of an accident, but Steve got his.
Yeah, I had to buy mine as some of the retailers will sell you a complete set in a bulk to purchase, where you're guaranteed to get all of them, including any chase figures that they might have. But Josh is luck of the Irish. He got everything he wanted. Lucky, but I'll let him tell that story.
Yeah, well, I ordered the whole normal set from, I think, was it Pop in a Box? Is that the link you gave me?
Yeah.
Okay. I ordered from them, and they sent me every single one except for Darkwing. And I was like, what the heck? Where's Darkwing? And they kept telling me, oh, they're back ordered, blah, blah, blah. You gotta wait. And so I kept seeing Darkwing on Amazon. I was like, I can get it now. Why don't I just get it now?
And then I'm posting, hey, I got my Darkwing.
Yeah. I see everybody's getting the Darkwing except for Pirate. And so I was impatient. So I ordered Darkwing from Amazon. I got my Darkwing, and then I was like, okay, time to cancel my Pop in a Box Darkwing Duck. And I go online, and come to find out they finally shipped it as soon as I got my other one. I was like, well, looks like I got two. And so the box came, opened it up, and sure enough, I got Chase.
Nice.
So
for those out there that don't know what a chase is, it's just a figure that has more rarity than the regular standard release. For this one in particular, Darkwing Duck had a 1 out of 6 chance. If you bought 6 Darkwing Ducks, there is a Negatron version of Darkwing Duck that's black and white with the red eyes, just like he is in that one episode. So this was the rare one to get, and you were lucky to get that one. We're not talking a lot of money value wise versus the other one. It's probably a lot of places you could probably get this particular Chase figure for $20 as opposed to the $10 it retails for. But it's still really cool to have, and especially if you're trying to get the complete collection, it looks great next to the original Darkwing Duck. And I can't believe how much merchandise Negatron has got in collectibles this year. He's seriously in it's Darkwing Duck's negative side, and it predates his arch rival Negaduck. And I have a blog entry I'm actually working on right now that will it'll talk more about Negaduck's history and Negatron's history from that one episode, and detail that there's been 3 merchandise releases of Negatron from Funko this year. So I'm sure that no one ever thought there would be this much Negatron merchandise, let alone 3 releases in a year.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't opened any of mine yet. I'm planning to. Definitely not Negatron, but I'm planning on opening up the other ones. I just haven't worked the nerve to do it. But
yeah, that's the big question with these. Is it out of box, or do you keep them on the? And really, Star Wars collections really started this, where people were keeping the cards, the figures mint on card and displaying them like that, which they look really great on the card. But I'm an out of box collector guy. I need to rip it open and display it on a nice shelf with the rest of them, and they look great grouped together. So I'm going to open up all of mine. But there's no shame in keeping them on the mint on a card, because they look, the whole box art looks fantastic with them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Funko does a great job with their box art. All of their selections have looked great, and everything that they've done, and the print quality is good. It takes me back to, when I was a kid and I'd buy a Ninja Turtle, and you just sit and look at the box forever. I mean, I would open it and have the toy out, but there was just so much going on in the packaging. And this reminded me of that, just that feeling of just checking it out and looking at it. And so you said you rip into your Funko Pops. So you just you throw the box away?
Well, I have them all boxed in I have some of them that are in the garage, and some that are in a closet somewhere. If ever. Because the art's cool, so I might eventually make something where I cut out the figures that are around the box. But yeah, once the boxes, I just feel like take up too much space.
Yeah, have you seen those people? Everyone's collections where it's like almost their whole wall is.
Yeah, and they look like
crazy.
I'm not knocking it, but sometimes it looks like a store.
Right.
Yeah.
As opposed to, and I like to buy for my Funko Pops. I like to buy Michael's sells Michael's Fabric and Craft Store sells baseball bat display bats cases, and you could fit like 13 or 14 in one of these boxes, and they look great. So that's how I'm going to display. Eventually, have all of my Disney Afternoon Pops displayed.
And you can even display some on top of that display if they don't fit.
Right there.
But then you have to dust those.
Yeah. That's what. Mine problem is I have mine out of box, and I have to constantly dust them. I keep all the boxes. I actually had this discussion with a friend of mine. I keep all the boxes, but I put them in a box in a garage in case I ever want to put them back in a box to keep them nice. I have a friend who also collects Pops who is doing the same thing, and his wife's like, "Why are you keeping these boxes? We need to just get rid of them." And he's like, "No, just in case I want them." And so his wife came up and asked me, "What do I do?" And so I told her, "Oh, I keep them in the garage." And she's like, "Dang it, I was trying to win the argument, and you're doing the same thing he is."
Well, almost all of my Pops are still in the box, just because I don't have a place to put them yet. And I do plan on doing the baseball bat case. I think that's a great idea. I especially love the idea of not having to dust them individually. But they're still sitting in the box right now, and I've thought about that a few times. What will I do? So, with my action figure, when I bought the Darkwing Duck, I ripped right into that box.
If you plan on getting one of those displays, always keep a lookout for coupons, because Michael's almost every week or closer to a holiday, they do like 40 or 50% off. and then you can just get those things for a lot cheaper than what their list price is.
Mm-hmm. Well, let's talk about these figures. We've got what, a series of 6, including the chase?
Yeah.
Yeah, 6. So, Pirate, you did a blog post on DuckTalks.com for the Scrooge McDuck. So let's start there.
Yeah, so it's a really cool figure. It's Scrooge, and he has 8 points of articulation. You can move his head, his cane. He also comes with his cane and a money bag. So he has 2 accessories there. And he's wearing, it's classic Scrooge. So he's in his blue outfit as opposed to his red one that he's in for the DuckTales 2017 show. And he looks fantastic. And if you think back to, and some of our listeners are not that old to remember it, but there were no there wasn't really a lot of DuckTales merchandise back then, and especially these action figures. Disney and the action figure companies, they made them for the Darkwing Duck series and the Tailspin series, but DuckTales and Rescue Rangers didn't have a action figure series. So it's cool that something that didn't exist in the late 80s, early 90s is come to fruition here, and people are going to have their Scrooge McDuck figure in their collection. And we've seen the designers on Funko on their YouTube channel have used the term the Disney Afternoon Wave 1. So we believe there's going to be more waves coming. So we'll see what they can add on to this one. I'm sure Launchpad would be a popular addition, whether it's for the Darkwing Duck series or the DuckTales series. So I would think he'd be the next one in line.
I think my favorite thing about this figures, and especially with Scrooge, is, Scrooge comes with like 2 pieces with him, and it's like they make their hands now to like actually hold them. Like, I have figures from back when I was a kid that they come with items, but their hands aren't designed to hold anything.
Oh, yeah. Let me tell you, I got a couple of Kylo Ren figures. This is even recent, that won't hold the lightsabers that they come with. So,
jeez.
Yeah, it's definitely refreshing to have. The quality is great on these figures, and I've said before, I am so into the paint jobs for any of the toys or collectibles. I'm very stickler about that, and all of the ones that I received were perfect condition.
Yeah, that's my, I ordered my Darkwing from Amazon, and so I didn't see it until I received it. And there's a couple of places that had I been in a store, and had a couple of options, I might not have picked this one. But it's okay. It's not bad. It's just a couple of places where there's white on the purple.
When I'm in the store, I have like all 10 of them that I can find, and I'm eliminating which one I'm not getting until I get down to the best one that's there. And if that best one there is not suitable, then I'll just leave the store and go to another store.
Yeah.
But overall, he's good.
Yeah, my paint jobs are really good. The only one I think has any little blemishes is my Darkwing, and it's got a few spots like on the white that are a different color. But other than that, it looks really good for paint jobs on all the characters.
Yeah, and I've seen Chip and Dale at my local Barnes & Noble, and they both looked great. So maybe it's a Darkwing thing.
Yeah. Well, you guys are the one who shared the, going back to Scrooge, the guy who did like a stop animation thing with Scrooge.
Yeah, we shared that.
Yeah, that was really neat. how like he was able to all that articulation on that, but just he was able to do something like that. And one thing I think is really cool if you are a collector of multiple things, Funko, especially with Scrooge. I think that the mystery minis of Huey, Dewey, and Louie are like perfect size to go along with this figure. They're like not too small where they like look ridiculous, but they look like proportionate to Uncle Scrooge his figure, and I think they'll display really well together.
I think my only negative thing from this whole series is that if you put them all next to each other, the Rescue Rangers are all almost about the same size as Baloo.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that's a little. I mean, he's a bear. They're a chipmunk. It's hard to make them all their actual scale. But
are they bigger? Are they bigger than Darkwing?
Darkwing's pretty. Darkwing's pretty big.
Okay.
So.
Yeah. Well, he's slightly bigger than Darkwing, but it's the hat is really which makes him. But
I don't know. Drake Mallard's forehead went up in that hat pretty far.
Yeah, and if you compared these Darkwing, like I said, Darkwing Duck had a wave of action figures and Tailspin had a wave of action figures back in the day. And if you compare what this one looks like compared to what was actually released, it is so much better.
Oh yeah.
And it also with the Darkwing Duck specifically, if you went on eBay or any of the online merchants and tried to purchase Darkwing Duck, the original action figure, most of the time they're missing the hat. Like the hat was always something that it was hard to find one that had the hat or the cape. So
wasn't the hat a gimmick? Like
I think if you had a button or something behind him, and if you pushed that, the hat flew off.
Yeah,
so
mine has like a little thing that it pops up and it spins his hat. But
a lot of people would lose that hat or the cape. So
and that action figure actually was one that it came with his gun and it came with like binoculars, but he couldn't hold either of them.
Yeah, that definitely makes sense. And also back then they had the Thunderquack and the Ratcatcher, and I remember even seeing, and we'll probably share this when we have our Darkwing Duck review, but there was a wave 2 of action figures that were going to come out, but they were actually canceled it before that wave 2. So.
Didn't that include Taurus Bulba? Yeah,
Taurus Bulba, and a couple. I mean, they had a whole bunch. Isn't Morgana in there as well?
Seems like it. It's been a while since I've looked at that.
We'll share that picture once we find it.
Yeah.
So for Series 2, there was actually a Gizmo Doc action figure, a Morgana, and they had the Liquidator and Whack-Jack and Negaduck. So they had a whole bunch of other characters that were going to come out in Series 2 that never got made. So it'll be great to see this happen in this new Funko series.
Yeah, and I think Funko's got the message. People want the fearsome.
I hope so. Listen, I think the only odd thing about this series of the new figures that they came out with Funko is Dale coming with a zipper.
I think that's a cool bonus because who would want to buy just a zipper action figure? So
well, I would have figured it would have come with like Monterey Jack if they make him,
for sure. Yeah, well, he usually like the Mystery Mini. He's with Monterey Jack and zipper, but
they planned ahead.
Monterey Jack figure will be. I mean, I'm guessing it'll be bigger than the Chip Dale one. So maybe they thought they would have more room if they put him in with Dale. But I think that one's a great value that you get two characters in one there.
Yeah, it is. It's just I feel like some of them, like Dale. I mean, compared to Chip has got like nothing extra with him.
Yeah.
He's got a hat.
Value.
Doesn't come off, though.
Oh, it doesn't.
But yeah, I could totally see Gadget and Monterey Jack being easy ones to add to the series, and then there you go, you got all the Rescue Rangers right there,
and a life-size Nimnal.
Yeah, and then Tailspin characters, and like I said before, Tailspin did have action figures, so they could easily make some of those as well.
Those air pirates were so much fun, and they made some of those into toys. Actually, probably the main three were toys, weren't they?
Yes.
Did they make those planes?
I don't remember.
Seems like I remember seeing pictures of the air pirate plane. Those were cool.
And of course, they can add to this. They can, if they make Wave 2 or Wave 3 or whatever, they could add gargoyles or any other of the Disney afternoon franchises.
Who had an awesome toy line? Gargoyles did.
That's the only toy line I didn't have for some reason. I don't know why.
Yeah, I didn't have those either, but I had a friend who had, I don't know, he had a lot of the Disney toys, and he had those. So Chip and Dale are the same height.
Yeah, and they're actually the same size as Scrooge without a hat. Like if Scrooge didn't have his hat, I would say they were about the same size as Scrooge.
Now their bodies are probably similar molds, but their heads are different, right?
Yeah.
Actually, their bodies are probably different because Dale's got that full shirt.
Yeah, he's got a shirt and then Chip's got his jacket. So it's actually the only thing that's the same is probably the legs.
And if you, I've gone. They sell these in like Hot Topic, GameStop, ThinkGeek, and several other retailers out there. Darkwing Duck is the only one I haven't seen in stores, and I really think that's because a lot of retailers bought a lot of the Darkwing Duck stock because they wanted to get those Chase figures. Unfortunately, Chases are really cool, but it's whenever a Chase gets introduced into the series, it becomes really rare and it makes other items rare. So I would definitely, if you ever see a Darkwing Duck in the wild, to pick it up while you got it. Or if you see it on Amazon or such, because you never know when you're going to see one of those again.
Yeah, I saw a Scrooge early on and I didn't pick him up, but I haven't seen one since. So now we plan on doing a series of reviews on these figures. Pirates already started the first one. There should be hopefully one coming out this coming week. So you can watch out for that. Get some pictures. I mean, this is a podcast, so audio, we can only describe these so much without going into hours and hours of detail, which we're not going to do. But we're gonna give some details, some good pictures, and talk about these, and that will be at DuckTalks.com. And if you you can join our conversation about that. And these are cool. We like them. I'm starting my collection of them, and I'm excited to get my hands on some more.
Yep, definitely buy them so that they'll make more. Funko will get the message.
Yeah. Well, we do know, or like you were saying earlier, they're thinking of a Wave 2, so hopefully we'll hear about that soon.
So this week, for Frankly Speaking, I made a promise on social media that since it was so heavy last week, we're going to go a little lighter, and I've just got a couple of items. Frank Angones is one of the co-producers on the DuckTales 2017 show, Disney XD, and he's not been overly, he wasn't on Twitter, on social media a lot until recently, and he made he came on social media and was letting people know that he understands that everybody's ready for the hiatus to be over, and that he just needs us to be patient, that it's coming and it's going to be awesome. And he said he was going to try to do a few things to kind of keep us interested in paying attention because it's going to be worth it. That's what he keeps saying. And so he has become, he has been on social media a lot more often recently. And, check him out. He's at Frank Angones, Angones. And he's a lot of fun. And like I said, I've got a couple things, one from Twitter and one from Tumblr. So someone asked him, someone said they were that their weekends were no longer relevant and that they needed his help. And he says, okay, about this, the next episode has my favorite new DuckTales character of season 1 who has a special history with Donald. And then he says, does that tide you over or does that make it worse? Now, that left a lot of question, and a lot of people had a lot of questions. And someone asked, is this a DuckTales original character or an existing character making their DuckTales debut? And he says, brand new character. So the next episode, this has some clues for us. The next episode, we have been informed that it would include togas, but it's a brand new character. What do you think? What are you expecting? We got togas and a brand new character coming up.
Somebody broke something.
Fell in the floor.
No, well, I don't know. If I had to guess, I'm guessing it's the horse with the Scrooge McDuck head.
You thinking it's the headless man horse?
I think so, because I know that recently there was a one of the comics had that on it.
That's true.
And I believe Frank said that was his favorite character, and I could totally see that being some kind of storyline with him.
So the headless man horses made it to Greece.
And it with a toga.
With a toga.
With the toga.
Seems like we had another clue.
There was a episode in the original DuckTales with characters that had togas. It was like that one where they would go back in time to like Greek. I forget what the name of the episode was, but Magica like throws them back in time, and they go to see like the Greek god era. And I don't know if I don't think it pertains to this at all, but I know there was an episode back then that that was like with togas. A little tangent there.
Now, and the character he's talking about is a brand new character, so I don't guess we would have gotten anything from that episode.
It's a brand new character altogether, or
yes.
A brand new character to the new show?
A brand new character altogether from season 1. He doesn't say that we've not seen them before, meaning that they may have already, Pirate saying maybe it's the headless man horse. That's not ruled out. He says the next episode has my favorite new DuckTales character of season 1 who has a special history with Donald. Which, that saddle was in the garage for for some reason. So maybe, Donald does have some sort of special history with the headless man horse. And then when he was asked if it is a DuckTales original character or an existing character making its DuckTales debut, he says brand new character. So he's giving us some hints. A little bit to play with, think about. Now, when I think of the toga episode that's coming up, and I don't think we know that it's in Greece. It's just going to have togas. Maybe it's like an episode. Maybe it's going to be a homage to Animal House. I don't know.
I'd watch that.
But say, are you guys still there? That was funny. Come on, work with me.
I'd watch that.
You'd watch that. But the we've heard of the Spear of Selene a couple of times, and that goes back to, I think, a Greek legend, myth. So I'm wondering if we start to get some more Della story going, because we know she took the spear of Selene. We don't know what it is, whether it's a literal spear or something else. We don't even know if maybe Selene's a character.
I'm hoping that it's going to be Della Duck, because she has we know that she has a backstory with Donald, and we haven't really been introduced other than pictures in the show, so it could be a new character altogether.
Yeah, we've only seen paintings of her so far on the show. I mean, if you're reading the comic, you've experienced some Della in the comic. So I think it's fun that Frank keeps throwing us a little bit, throwing us a bone here or there, just so we're, staying interested. Someone, and I don't have this one, but I'm going to talk about it. Someone also sent him a tweet saying that they were worried that this long of a hiatus was going to mean that people were going to become less interested in DuckTales. And he said that I don't have this tweet in front of me, but he said that he's normally the kind of person who runs around the room when they're, worried about stuff, or something like that. And that, he's not worried about this because the show is so great and everyone has done such a great job. And what's about to happen is amazing. Things like that. He's just really excited about the show. So hopefully we get a little more interaction with them, to keep people interested. I know every time I look up DuckTales, all I find, or not all I find, but a lot of what I find are people who are just like, when's the next episode? When's the show coming back? And we're just going to have to ride out this hiatus and have fun with it. So we're just going to have to find ways to, sit down and talk about this, Spear of Selene, and talk about whether or not this is going to be a toga party in Greece or at a frat house or what's going on. We're just going to have fun with it.
Well, luckily, you guys have been able to find things to talk about week to week, even though there's been no show. You guys have done a good job at finding the news and then kind of going from there. So I think you guys can handle this hiatus.
Well, thanks for that. I tell you, we have a number of things that we actually have planned on doing, and because of the news that has come out here or there and being able to sit down and talk about it, we've put a few things off. So we've got plenty of content to come. All right.
Good to hear.
We're excited about it. Can't wait. All right, so we are getting late in the show, so let's take a look at the last one, and then we're done. Never mind. The last one was the one that I just talked about.
Oh, all right. We're done.
Oh, this is not a professional podcast. I'm not a professional podcaster.
Oh, man. This is our A game.
Hey, we're coming back. We're having fun. So, but yeah, he says he's not a calm person. And he says, I know people are upset because they're so excited about seeing what's next. I urge you to stick with us. Hopefully we'll be able to share more info soon. And of course, not long after that, the information about some of the toys came out. Frank tweeted about, hey, there's more to come. So we've got some stuff coming up. We're going to have a lot of stuff to talk about.
Excited for it. Can't wait.
Oh, I can't wait for the show to come back. That's the one thing I miss. The girls and I sat down and had a little mini marathon. We watched like 9 episodes. Not all at once. But we watched them in the order that Frank, posted on social media and is on our DuckTalks.com website. So you can find that order there. And the show's well paced. There's a lot of emphasis on all the characters. It's really great. I really wish they were aired in this order to begin with, but if you have access to all the episodes, you can watch them that way now and enjoy it. And it's worth a rewatch of all the episodes just to get them in the order. Someone at work, I have a friend at work who I was telling him about it. He grew up with DuckTales, and he's got kids now, and they sat down and started watching it, and they watched it in Frank's order, and they loved it. They said it was perfect. So it's a great show, and just can't wait to get to have it back. and hoping we can continue to talk about it, and maybe to talk with some people who are working on it. That'd be awesome. So, hey, if you've made it this far, we want to thank you for giving our podcast a chance.
You're welcome.
Did we hit the hour mark, or did we go over?
Oh, yeah, we're over.
Dang it.
We try to record every week. Doesn't always happen, but for the most part, we are here weekly. We try to put these out on Wednesday. If you've just found our podcast, if you've been listening for a while and you haven't subscribed on whatever your podcatcher is, we'd like to we want to recommend that you do that. It's the easiest way to keep up with our show. And also, you can go to social media. You can find us. We mentioned it earlier. You can find us on Twitter at DuckTalks. We post all kinds of stuff daily. Pirate and I both have access to that, and we're constantly putting information. We're constantly just posting silly stuff we find on YouTube that's Disney Afternoon related. So we just try to stay up to date on the latest DuckTales and Disney Afternoon news. And we also have our individual accounts, so you can find us online on Twitter. My Twitter handle is @Infinirama616, and you can also find Pirate there.
At the Pirate Steven. The Pirate Steven. And then Josh, why don't you give them yours?
You can find me on Twitter at ccrunner524.
All right. Well, hey, Josh, before we go, any final words for our listeners?
I'm glad you stuck it out this long if you're hearing this. Hopefully you guys will see me around again soon. And just keep following DuckTalks. They have the best news everywhere for DuckTales.
Well, it doesn't get any better than that.
That's right.
All right, we'll send you that 20.
I can't wait for it.
You could buy like 2 figures for that.
Or a Chase.
That's right.
Chase figure, yeah.
Well, before we go, we want to make sure we tell you about Res TV. We're part of Res TV, the Res TV network of podcasts, and Res TV is a group of podcasters who decided we weren't going to do it alone. I'm very thankful for them. I had a lot of help again this week. So, if you like podcasts and you like nerdy things, check out res.tv, and you can find a lot of great podcasts there. So I think that's going to do it for us this week. That's all I got. Pirate, you got anything?
See you next time.
See you next time.
Bye.
I was just waiting on the dog to stop.
Oh, is that the dog outside? You hear that?
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. I hate my neighbor's dog. It's not my dog. My neighbor's dog.
Oh, Bluebird is going to be awesome.
It drives us crazy.
Well, that's going to do it for Duck Talk.
Is there going to be like a blooper reel for this one?
Oh, this is going to be the longest blooper reel ever, and what I just said is definitely going in there.
We got duck nuts.
So that's going to... Duck merch, right? Duck merch. 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 Merch.